Canada just quietly became one of the most exciting car markets on the planet. While most people are still debating which electric SUV has the best cup holders, BYD just announced 8 cars for Canada in 2026 that will genuinely make you question everything you thought you knew about what a car can do. We are talking about a family sedan that can park itself by moving completely sideways, a pickup truck that is faster than a sports car, and an SUV that can float in deep water and launch a drone from its roof. These are not concept cars. They are real, they are coming, and they are priced in a way that makes no sense at all. We are counting down all 8, starting from the most surprising and ending with the one that honestly feels illegal to drive on a public road. Stick around for number 1 because that one will genuinely mess with your head. Number 8. BYD Dolphin Mini. Let's kick things off with something that should not exist at this price. The BYD Dolphin Mini is a small electric city car that is expected to cost somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 Canadian dollars. That is less than what most people spend on a used car with 150,000 kilometers on it. And yet, this thing comes loaded. Up front, it has sharp, angular headlights that sweep toward the center, giving it the face of a car that costs 3 times as much. The bumper has air curtains built in, which help it slice through wind more efficiently. On the sides, the door handles sit completely flush with the body, which is something you usually only see on cars above $50,000. Out back, there is a full-width light bar running across the entire rear, on a budget car. Seriously, under the hood, a single electric motor pushes out about 75 horsepower. That is not going to win any races, but it will comfortably handle your daily commute. The battery holds 38 kilowatt hours of energy and gives you over 300 kilometers of real-world range. That is your entire work week covered without a single charge stop. And if you do need to charge, a fast charger will top it up in roughly 30 minutes. Step inside and there is a 10.1-inch touchscreen in the center that physically rotates. You can flip it from landscape to portrait, depending on whether you want the map spread wide or your music stacked tall. The floor is completely flat, so backseat passengers actually have room to breathe. The seats are wrapped in synthetic leather, and the whole cabin feels like something from a car half a decade newer than its price suggests. For a first-time EV buyer or someone who just wants a smart, efficient daily driver, this is a genuinely hard deal to beat. But if you thought this was the big story, we are just getting started. Number 7. BYD Han EV. Now we step into proper executive territory. The BYD Han EV is a long, low-luxury sedan that is expected to land in Canada somewhere between $45,000 and $50,000 Canadian dollars. At that price, it is going head-to-head with cars from BMW and Tesla while quietly outclassing them in several areas. The front end uses what BYD calls their electric dragon face design. The headlights are razor-sharp, the closed-off grille is clean and modern, and the whole nose has an air of quiet confidence. The sides are long and elegant, with a drag coefficient of just 0.23, which means it glides through air with almost no resistance at all. The door handles pop out automatically when you approach and tuck back in, flush when you walk away. Out back, the taillights have an intricate 3-dimensional pattern inspired by traditional Chinese design, and at night they look like floating neon threads. The performance version runs dual electric motors, producing over 500 horsepower. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.9 seconds. The battery holds 85.4 kilowatt hours and gives you up to 701 kilometers of range on a full charge. That is a serious road trip machine. Inside, it feels like a private jet on wheels. There is a 15.6-inch touchscreen that rotates between landscape and portrait modes. quilted leather seats front and back, heated and ventilated and with massage functions, and a 12-speaker surround sound system. The rear seats recline and there is genuinely limousine-level legroom back there. 11 airbags come as standard, and the intelligent driving system uses a roof-mounted sensor pod to map the road ahead in 3 dimensions. For 50,000 Canadian dollars, this level of luxury and performance is almost embarrassing for the competition. Speaking of embarrassing the competition, the next car was designed to do exactly that to one very specific rival. Number 6. BYD Seal. The BYD Seal exists for one reason: to make the Tesla Model 3 feel old. And it does a pretty convincing job. Starting at around 65,000 Canadian dollars for the top performance trim, the Seal comes in swinging with 523 horsepower and a 0 to 100 time of 3.8 seconds. BYD is so proud of that number, they actually put a badge on the trunk lid that just says 3.8. That is a level of confidence you do not see often. The design follows what BYD calls ocean aesthetics. The nose dips low like a sports car, with dual U-shaped daytime running lights and hidden main beams behind them. The hood has deep creases that direct airflow over the windshield. On the sides, there are actual aerodynamic gills just behind the front wheels that reduce air pressure in the wheel wells. Out back, the taillights have a water drop dot matrix pattern that looks genuinely spectacular at night. But the biggest trick is underneath. The Seal is built using something called cell-to-body technology, where the battery pack is not just sitting in the floor, but is actually part of the car's structure. This makes the whole car stiffer and safer while also saving weight. The result is a sports car feel in the corners without the usual trade-offs. It charges at 150 kilowatts and offers over 500 kilometers of range. Inside, you get the rotating 15.6-inch screen, an augmented reality head-up display that projects your speed and navigation onto the windshield, heated and ventilated sports seats, and a 12-speaker audio system. Physical buttons for the climate controls, real ones, no digging through menus. The Seal is the kind of car that makes you wonder why anyone is still paying the brand premium elsewhere. But the next one on our list is not just going after sedans, it is coming for trucks. Number 5. BYD Atto 3. Before we get to the heavy hitters, there is one car on this list that might quietly matter more to everyday Canadians than almost any other. The BYD Atto 3 is a compact electric SUV that has already been on sale in the UK, Australia, and Europe for a couple of years. It has a 5-star safety rating from Euro NCAP, one of the toughest safety tests in the world. It carries a 60 kilowatt-hour blade battery with up to 521 kilometers of range. And it comes with the same rotating touchscreen, flat floor, and premium interior feel you find in BYD's more expensive cars. What makes the Atto 3 special is not one single jaw-dropping feature. It is the fact that it ticks every single box a practical Canadian family needs. It is spacious enough for 4 adults and their luggage. It handles winter conditions well. It has already proven itself in real-world conditions in countries with similar road and weather demands. And its expected pricing puts it right in the heart of the most popular vehicle segment in Canada. Think of it as the no-drama option on a list full of drama. While every other car here is out here doing tank turns and launching drones, the Atto 3 is just quietly being excellent at everything a daily driver needs to be. In a country where compact SUVs are the single best-selling category year after year, a well-priced, well-proven, well-equipped option like this could end up moving more units than anything else on this list. But it is nowhere near the wildest thing we have to talk about. That comes next. Number 4. BYD Shark 6. Canada loves trucks. and the BYD Shark 6 showed up ready to have a conversation about that. This is a plug-in hybrid pickup truck expected to start around 55,000 Canadian dollars. It runs on BYD's super hybrid platform, combining a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with dual electric motors. Combined output is 430 horsepower and 650 newton-meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.7 seconds. To put that in perspective, a Ford Ranger Raptor, one of the most performance-focused mid-size trucks on the market, is slower. The Shark 6 gives you about 100 kilometers of pure electric range for daily driving and around 800 kilometers total when the gas engine joins in. So your commute runs on electricity, and your road trips run on whatever fuel you can find. That is a genuinely clever setup for a country with the geography of Canada. On the outside, it looks every bit the part. A massive illuminated BYD logo spans the front grille. C-shaped LED headlights frame each side. The hood is flat and muscular. Out back, a continuous LED light bar stretches across the entire tailgate, which no other mid-size truck currently offers. It has a 31-degree approach angle, meaning it can handle serious off-road terrain, and it sits on large alloy wheels with huge wheel arches. Inside, the 15.6-inch rotating screen makes its appearance here too, alongside a digital driver display, a head-up display, and a 360-degree camera system that lets you see through the chassis while you are off-roading. The seats are heated and ventilated leather, and there is vehicle-to-load technology built in, so you can plug a power tool or a small appliance directly into the truck bed. At $55,000, this truck is half the price of a Rivian and arguably more practical for most people's real lives. And yet, compared to what comes next, the Shark 6 is almost modest. Number 3. BYD Sea Lion 7. If the Tesla Model Y is the most popular electric SUV in the world right now, the BYD Sea Lion 7 is the answer to the question nobody thought to ask. What if you kept all the practicality but added supercar speed, exotic styling, and some of the fastest charging available anywhere? The Sea Lion 7 is expected to land in Canada at around 55,000 Canadian dollars. The all-wheel drive performance version produces 523 horsepower and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds. That is quicker than most sports cars from 10 years ago. Inside a family SUV, the design follows BYD's Ocean X language. The front has double U-shaped LED headlights that float in the fascia like they are lit from behind. The hood sweeps low and aggressive. On the sides, the roofline curves into a coupe shape without actually sacrificing rear headroom, which is a neat engineering trick. Out back, a continuous water drop LED light bar spans the entire rear above a functional diffuser. The battery is 82.5 kilowatt hours, built directly into the chassis, using the same cell-to-body technology from the Seal, and it charges at up to 230 kilowatts. That means you can plug it in, walk in and grab a coffee, and have enough range added for another 200 kilometers by the time you walk back out. Inside, the 50-inch augmented reality head-up display is the showstopper. It projects navigation arrows and speed information directly onto your view of the road in front of you, wide enough to feel like it is actually part of the world outside the windshield. You also get the rotating touchscreen, quilted Napa leather seats, 128 color ambient lighting, and a 12-speaker audio system. For a family SUV at $55,000, this is a remarkable package. But the two cars still ahead of it are in a completely different category. The next one barely even qualifies as a normal vehicle. Number 2. BYD Yangwang U8L. Everything we have talked about so far has been impressive, in a way that still makes sense. The U8L does not make sense. It just does things. This is a full-size luxury SUV stretched to 5.4 meters long, sitting on 23-inch forged alloy wheels, powered by 4 completely independent electric motors, producing a combined 1,080 horsepower and 1,280 newton-meters of torque. That is enough to launch this 8,000-pound vehicle from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 seconds. On the outside, it looks like an armored vehicle that went to finishing school in Switzerland. The front grille is massive, with an intricate LED matrix pattern. You can option the exterior badges in actual 24-karat gold. The hydraulic suspension raises and lowers the entire body on demand to adapt to any terrain. Out back, the split-power tailgate has a lower section rated to hold 200 kilograms. You can literally sit on it. Now here is where the U8L stops being a car and starts being a story. Because each of the 4 motors is completely independent, if you blow a tire at highway speeds, the car instantly rebalances the power across the remaining 3 wheels and keeps you driving in a perfectly straight line. The same independent motor setup means you can perform a full 360-degree tank turn on dry pavement, rotating the whole vehicle on its own axis without moving forward or backward at all. And then there is the water mode. If the U8L drives into deep water, it activates emergency float mode. The suspension raises. The windows seal tight. The sunroof slides open as an escape route. And the spinning wheels act as paddles, pushing the vehicle back toward dry land. This is a production car. It is road legal, and it floats. There is also a DJI drone launching pad integrated into the roof. You can deploy a camera drone directly from the driver's seat while sitting inside the vehicle. The interior has a 23.6-inch display for the driver, a curved OLED center screen, and another 23.6-inch screen for the front passenger. Second-row passengers get zero-gravity captain's chairs with 18-point hot stone massage, a panoramic roof, and a built-in refrigerator and heating unit. There is a satellite phone built into the dashboard, so you never lose signal anywhere on Earth. This is expected to cost over 200,000 Canadian dollars. And compared to a Rolls-Royce Cullinan or a Maybach GLS, it is actually competitive on both price and capability. Which brings us to number 1. Because somehow, there is a car on this list that makes the floating, drone-launching, tank-turning U8L look like the warm-up act. Number 1. BYD U7. 1,341 horsepower. In a family sedan, that seats 5 people and has a proper trunk. The BYD Yangwang U7 is expected to start at around 120,000 Canadian dollars. That number only makes sense when you look at what it does. 4 completely independent electric motors, 1 for each wheel, produce that combined output. The car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.9 seconds. For reference, a Bugatti Chiron does it in 2.4. The U7 has 4 doors, 5 seats, and a trunk. The Bugatti costs $5 million and has 2 seats. Let that sit for a second. The battery holds 150 kilowatt hours of energy and delivers a claimed range of over 1,000 kilometers on a full charge. That is Toronto to Montreal and back without stopping to charge. The design is called Timegate. The front has massive C-shaped LED headlights that dominate the fascia. The hood has deep, aggressive vents. Right above the windshield, a LiDAR sensor pod is prominently integrated into the roofline. It is not hidden. It is proud. The sides have flush door handles, 21-inch aerodynamic wheels, and a silhouette that curves like a crouching animal. The drag coefficient is 0.195, which means this car cuts through air more efficiently than almost anything else on public roads. Out back, an active spoiler deploys automatically at high speeds to keep the car planted, sitting above a thin, continuous tail light bar. But the part that genuinely feels illegal is what the 4 independent motors allow the car to do. Because each wheel has its own motor with its own precise control, the U7 can move completely sideways. All 4 wheels turn at 90 degrees, and the car crabs into a parallel parking spot, moving laterally like a crab walking across a beach. It can also perform a full 360-degree tank turn on dry pavement, spinning the entire vehicle on its own axis. And if you blow a tire at highway speeds, the car reads the situation in milliseconds and redistributes torque across the 3 remaining wheels to keep you going perfectly straight. The suspension system is called D-SUS-Z. Instead of traditional shock absorbers, it uses electric motors at each corner that react to bumps and potholes in 2 milliseconds. That is fast enough that the car is already adjusting before you even feel the impact. The ride does not feel smooth. It feels like the road has been smoothed out underneath you. Inside, the U7 is surrounded by massive screens, quilted Nappa leather, 20-way adjustable massage seats, and a 23-speaker audio system. You can configure the rear as a 4-seat layout with individual captain's chairs that recline into a near-flat position. It feels more like a business-class cabin than a car interior. At 120,000 Canadian dollars, this is a car that outruns European supercars, parks sideways, survives blowouts at highway speeds, and maps the road in 3 dimensions. There is genuinely nothing else like it at any price. That is all 8 cars. From a $25,000 city runabout that rotates its own screen, all the way up to a 1,300 horsepower sideways parking hyper sedan. If you found any of this as wild as we do, hit the like button and subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. There is a lot more coming to Canada in 2026, and we are going to cover all of it. Now we want to hear from you. Out of all 8 cars on this list, which one would you actually buy and why? Drop it in the comments below.